Alright, hello everyone, how the game here again today with another one of our King of Kaiju guides. And today we will be talking about Gigan, our cyborg monster from space. Well, let's just cut it short and go straight to the point. Gigan, honestly, he is not very strong. He is very popular, he's pretty popular in Godzilla culture, and we do see him a number of times in all the Godzilla movies. But Gigan right now, as it is, he is not a specialist in anything. He has okay melee attacks, he has okay range attacks, which doesn't do a lot of damage, and he has, well, next to no mobility. All he has is his chainsaw attack, which chainsaw tackle, which moves you forward by a lot, but you can't really use it to go anywhere else, because in order for it to go right or left, you really have to turn it. And thus, all Gigan really have right now is his Surged Blood Slicer, which is his raw and the O button. Well, as you can see, it does a ton of damage, although it doesn't really look like it. I just took down like 1/5 of the Mecha Godzilla health with one Surged Blood Slicer. As you can also see, his Surged Blood Slicer takes forever to come out. Yeah, and if in the event that the Blood Slicer hits any of the buildings, it will consider a hit and it will stop there. So you really want to use your Blood Slicer when there are no buildings around, because when that happens, your enemy, your opponent, will really take a lot of damage. But if there is lots of things that is around the guy, your Surged Blood Slicer isn't going to do a thing. And your normal Blood Slicers, although they are fast, they doesn't really do a lot of damage. And yeah, like right now I'm going to show you just how bad it really is. But at the start, Gigan really fall off the game at the start because of his weak melee attacks. He doesn't really have a lot of super armor, and his raw lasts for a good 3 seconds. That's it. That is his raw. You're not going to be blocking anything with that. I mean, I just blocked the Hedorah's beam attack, but aside from the beam attacks, Burning Godzilla's beam, King Ghidorah beams, you can raw, but you will never get out of them. And another thing would be the fact that you, as a Gigan user, you have terrible startup for all your moves, and your emergency move also doesn't do a lot of damage, and it moves you forward, which is not a good thing, because as a Gigan, well, most of the time you want to be away from the opponent instead of being right in front of them. Like right now, I can't even hit a Hedorah out of his normal attacks because it's just too weak. But in the event that you are forced into a situation, and never ever force yourself into a corner as a Gigan, because you will die there. If you are ever going to be in the corner, you can hopefully, and I mean hopefully, use your chainsaw attacker to get out. I am about to die to Hedorah. Like really, my screen is glowing orange, and I am going to be dying to Hedorah simply because I'm not really doing enough damage as Gigan. I can try to use the Surged Blood Slicer, which is my strongest move, to get away, and hopefully while the move is being active, I will be able to get away from this place with my, well, what is that called? Chainsaw tackle. And yes, we managed to get away. The good thing about Gigan, however, is the part that he is able to move pretty fast, and thanks to this ability to walk faster than many of the monsters out there, you should be able to get into a range that you don't really have to be afraid of. Like Hedorah now, we're going to walk over there, and we're going to come back here and try to empty as many buildings as you can to avoid being caught out in a bad situation. And the best part about the Blood Slicers is that it's homing, and because it's homing, you really don't have to really aim. You just need to make sure you are in the right distance for the Blood Slicers to hit, and the nearer they are, the more damage they take from the Blood Slicers, because as long as the Blood Slicers are in the air and flying around, they are going to take a lot of damage. And that's it for Gigan, to be honest, and we are going to continue with King of Kaiju mode so you can see some of the real weakness Gigan has. You generally shown when he's fighting strongest monsters that has a better range move than him. Mothra can out damage Gigan, but Gigan has a very good projectile against all flying units. And by flying units I mean Rodan, Mothra, Batra, King Ghidorah, and look at that. I can't get out. I can't get out at all when Mothra is going all crazy on me. The only way to get out is to use this, and that's never a good thing to do unless, well, you have a lot of temperature, which Gigan doesn't really get a lot of. But look, the AI, it's an AI. The AI wasn't moving, and half his health is gone, just like that. And okay, the Surged Blood Slivers, although it does have good range, it doesn't have enough range to the point that it can hit people all the way from like around here. No, it cannot. Yes, in the event that you hit someone and he's an air unit and he gets staggered, well, he is going to take a lot of damage, and by that I mean really a lot of damage. As you can see, the Mothra just had more than half of his health gone into Surged Blood Slicer. Yes, Mothra and Batra both does not have a good enough projectile to stop your Surged Blood Slicer. So your real weakness in most kaiju fight is going to be the fact that there are going to be people coming straight up to your face and, well, beating the crap out of you with their melee moves, because you are terrible in melee as a Gigan. But if anyone wants to play range with you, it's always a good thing. At the start of the game, you might not be able to get away from anything, but if you ever do get away from anything, count your blessings and make full use of it. Like right now, this Mega Godzilla 2 kind of stopped his attacks there because he is not cancelling his attack, and I will be able to make full use of that. I'm going to roar, and I'm going to try to use my Surged Blood Slicer already. Oh yeah, we should show you the normal Blood Slicer. And there, the normal Blood Slicers come out slightly faster, and I mean slightly, and it just drops there. That's 2 hits and we are done. It's a terrible move, really. The damage isn't even worth it. I think I'm barely tickled. Mecha Godzilla 2, he does have one more move that is pretty good against monsters that are smaller, and although there is one issue, you have to use it at a specific range or it will not be effective. That would be his Gigaram Blaster. Around here would be the range to use it, and it does pretty decent damage. It's like one chunk gone, so you basically just did a melee attack with a range move, and you are able to, well, push the guy away a little bit so that you can have that spacing you need when fighting certain monsters. Okay, this Mecha Godzilla is really trying to come for me. Yeah, that is how you stop any of the slicers that comes out from Gigan. If you're ever fighting a Gigan, just stop him when he's posing like that. If you let him finish his posing and the slicer comes out, you are going to take a ton of damage. It's the strength of Gigan, and it's also the weakness of Gigan at the same time. As you can see, his clear time isn't exactly amazing, simply because he's just not good at that. And now we are going to have one of our biggest problem in the game, that is Destroyer. Gigan is terrible against Destroyer. In the event that you ever fight a Destroyer, run for your life. Run for your life, wait for your temperature, don't take unnecessary damage, and you might live through it to tell the day. As you can see, the AI is being extremely aggressive, and we are going to get stuck in the corner soon. I hope these moves come out. Nope, it does not. Okay, Destroyer is able to cut you off most of your moves regardless of what you do, because that's how Destroyer plays. He's an extremely good range melee kaiju, and he will be able to break out of all your attacks as long as he wants to do it. But, well, thankfully you do have a getaway move, and hopefully if a normal Destroyer won't let you go just like that. But the AI Destroyer isn't that strong, and because he got caught in the air, he's gonna take the full brunt of the Gigan Slicer, the Surged Blood Slicer, and that's how much damage that you just saw that flew into the destroyer. And with that said, we are going to run away, because if you do not run away, you're gonna have a big problem and we will probably lose this round. Oh dear, I got caught in the corner, but never mind. Destroyer is following me and we are going to go into our final Blood Slicer move, and he misses. Let's hope. Nope, he doesn't miss us. We are still going to go for a raw, and okay, let's try to finish. I mean, you see how little damage that thing does. Unlike every other monster, that thing really just isn't good enough. But if you, whoa, thank God. Alright, if you ever you're forced to use your emergency move and you are in the guy's face, you might want to try to use a melee attack, because some of them, like Destroyer, doesn't have a very fast melee attack, although they have very good range. Now, in general, we just have to put it this way: Gigan he has a move for every situation. They just don't do a lot of damage. And the best way for Gigan to play is to have your Surged Blood Slicer ready, and hopefully they are in the air. If they are in the air, you will do a shit ton of damage to the point that they have no idea what hit them. But if they are not in the air, and of course this would be a good idea, if they are not in the air, you still want to shoot your Surged Blood Slicer anyway, because then you will be able to do quite a lot of things as well. But yes, it's a Super Mega Godzilla and I have homing attacks. Now that, by the way, that Surged Blood Slicer was a miss, because he was too far away from me when I did it. However, because of the range that it could fly, it kind of continued to home in on the enemy, which is the Super Mega Godzilla. It's effective still if you manage to get the slicers out. But if you don't manage to get the slicers out, you are in big trouble. Look at how long it takes just for him to do the chainsaw dagger. Super Mega Godzilla has all the time in the world just to come slowly to me. I am not going to fight him there. I'll wait till I have some better spacing, like right now when it has to force its way through those buildings before I go for him. Yes, but the Surged Blood Slicers always have one of the best things in the game, which is homing. And because of that homing, look at how far he flew. Oh my god. I like that. But yes, he's gonna fly again. And he stopped my Blood Slicer before it came out. That was the worst. Gigan, you are so slow. But because it is homing and it does a ton of damage to flying units, you are now forgiven. I believe I will be able to win with these last Blood Slicers. Yep, as expected. And yeah, that's it for Gigan. You really don't have many other tools that you can use to play against other people, but if you ever play online against people, the Surged Blood Slicer is your best bet at victory. You might like him. If you like him and you want to play him, then just take note. You're not good at melee at all. You will be beaten out at melee by lots of kaijus in the game. And with that, that's the end of the King of Kaiju mode for today about Gigan. I hope you guys found it helpful. And well, that's it. How the game, signing off.